What's going on, guys? It's RPGZ here, coming at you with another video. We're back to unboxing season, baby. We've got a full play set of the ST07 Celestial Drive. This is the purple-green starter deck, representative of Gundam 00, the anime series. And then we've got the other one, ST08 Flash of Radiance. It is a red-blue starter deck, and it's representative of Hathaway's Flash, which, by the way, the second movie of the trilogy comes out January 30th, I believe. So definitely something to look forward to, but we're going to go ahead and start cracking into these boxes, kind of go over what comes in each starter deck as we kind of talk out the cards and kind of look through them one at a time. And then before we get into that, a moment from our same sponsor. Take it away. Hey guys, today's video is brought to you in part by Otaku Nation. Located in Arizona, a store where you can find all sorts of anime apparel, cosplay-related material, stuffed animals, statues, figures, books, videos, model kits, and of course trading card games. Whether it is booster boxes or singles, Otaku Nation has you covered. Otaku Nation has a lot of ways for you to stay up to date on the latest products and releases. From their website, they have events posted, location listed, a gallery so you can see what things are like, new products rolling in, and that are posted on their Instagram so you never miss a product launch. And of course, a direct link can be accessed from their website here to see their assortment of cards from the TCG Players store. So take a moment, check out their website and the link in the video description down below. Now back to the video. All right, welcome back. So we're gonna go ahead and just do this numerically in order. We're gonna go with ST07. We're gonna start with Celestial Drive. I've not cracked these at all. Our starter deck event was literally just the other day. I got these bad boys home and I am very excited to open these guys up. I'm gonna go ahead and just slit the tape here off the side and then flip the camera around, get you all nice and close like. Yeah, we haven't heard that in a while. Let's go ahead and look at the contents of the box from the back. We've got 16 card types in total. We've got 14 commons, 2 legend rares. We've got contents of the boxes, 1 ready-to-play 50-card deck, 10 resource cards, 1 paper damage counter, 2 token cards, 1 bonus pack, 1 rule play sheet, and then you get a bonus pack in here, which we usually take out and we're going to save towards the end of the video to see what we crack. A couple things did change from this starter deck over to the other one. We're going to notice right away once I open this box, it kind of exploded on me. What in the world is this? Okay, there we go. Previously, when we used to take out the starter decks, we would be seeing immediately the LR, and it would be on top. They have switched it to the resources being on top, and from my understanding, it's to keep people that were just cutting the tape tabs, pulling the thing out, seeing if it's a god deck, and putting it in without having to do anything or dismantle it. So now they made it a little bit harder for those that, unfortunately, were being little thieves over at retail stores. And that, I think, is a good thing. Obviously, we got to change it because product's not moving, you know, got to do what you got to do. There's one of our Celestial Drive boosters. We're going to keep that guy off to the side. And we're not really going to look at the play sheet because it's the same from every starter deck. All right, we're going to keep that plastic off to the side as well. We're going to slip the little thing off here. I don't know what to call that. Little plastic band. Again, we've got our resource cards, everything you need to start playing. Resource cards go immediately into our LR, which, again, top LR should still be a full art if it was a god pack. This is not a god pack, so not everything here will be all shiny and whatnot all the way through. Let's look at, I'm going to split this up because it usually helps my hands a little bit. Well, let's look at the first card. So this is one of our LRs. This is the poster child for Gundam 00. This is Gundam Exia. At the end of your turn, if there are 7 or more CB cards in your trash, choose one of your resources, set it as active. Notice how it says CB cards, not units, not pilots. All it cares about is CB trait from anything. As long as it's traded as such, it counts towards the total. When paired, place the top 2 cards of your deck into your trash. If you place a CB card with this effect, draw 1. So that's cool. Obviously, you get a draw just off of putting any pilot underneath here. Obviously, it's looking for Setsuna, which is the pilot by name in order to get the link. But when paired is just any pilot getting under this unit. It's a level 5 4 cost. So it comes out same curve as like Ale Strike Gundam, for example, or something off the top of my head like Gussie and Rebake. We got 2 of these. So you get 2 LRs. That's why you're looking for 2 starter deck boxes. So you can get your play sets. This one, I think, is more exciting than Gundam Exia, in my opinion. Gundam Dynamis. During your turn, when this unit destroys an enemy unit with battle damage, this unit recovers 2 HP. It's got Repair 2. No, it does not. After the battle concludes, it immediately heals the 2. So it doesn't have to wait till end of turn, which is when Repair 2 would kick in right before passing the turn over to the opponent. So this is pretty sweet. And the fact that during the link, it gets the AP +2, and that's really good with his pilot for lock-on Stratos, because lock-on allows you to swing into an active unit, which is super cool. So as far as synergy goes with pilot and suit, I think Gundam Dynamis is definitely the bigger threat compared to Gundam Exia. And then obviously coming out the same turn as Amuro, it's like our green version of Amuro and RX-78 Gundam, where again, that thing's able to lay something down and then you're able to attack right into it. This thing's just doing it a little bit different. But we get 2 copies of this bad boy, and I love the artwork. Let me go ahead and do a texture hit on those 2. I realize I'm going through this probably a little too fast because I got 2 starter decks to kind of clear through with you guys today. Nothing here. Let's see, can we get a better... Yeah, there we go. Textures. This is kind of like dotted. I guess you guys can kind of see it on the bottom here. And then we've got the deep lines, everything we're used to seeing with the LR design language. This one's kind of all over the place in terms of texture, very gradient texture. Etched lines. Again, all the stuff in the background does not get those etched lines. It's just the suit in focus. Really, really cool. We've got our vanilla level 4 2 cost. It's a 4/3. Links with Setsuna. From my understanding, this is the first starter deck that gives us just a whole bunch of pilots. Which is good, because Gundam 00 is focused around many main characters besides just Setsuna FCA. Oh, I said that right. Yeah, buddy. Let's go. But yeah, just our generic big unit. Comes down level 4. Good stat line. Gundam Virtue. Tierra Arde is the pilot on this one. And again, just a big dude. Big stat line. It's a 5/4. Level 5, 3 cost. No abilities, nothing to worry about there. But again, it's got the ability to link. We got another Gundam Virtue. While you have a CB pilot in play, this unit gains blocker. Again, a whole bunch of CB-related trait things are going to be happening in this deck. So there's a whole bunch of synergies and ways to set up with this starter deck. There's a level 3 2 cost. It's a 3/3 stat line. And again, you don't even have to put the pilot on this unit. It can just be a pilot in play on any unit. As long as it's the right trait, it gets the blocker package. Gundam Dynamis, level 3 2 cost, lock on Stratos once again. Again, a whole bunch of links in this one. It's crazy. And then we've got Gundam Kyrios. During your turn, while you have a CB pilot in play, this unit gets AP +2. Again, that's probably why this starter deck just has so many pilots. I'm really happy once we get to that section. Because again, we can link with practically everything by name, because there's all these pilots in here. And then they get additional effects as long as a pilot's in play. So again, in-trait family archetype synergies is really, really strong here in Celestial Drive. And then we've got, let's say it together, Alleluia Haptism. Hallelujah Haptism. Huh? Pretty good. Alright, we got a couple copies of that. We got Gundam Kyrios Flight Mode, also linking with the same thing. It's a 3/1 stat line, but, I mean, it comes down on 2/2. So level 2 2 cost. It's good enough to crack an EX base. If the opponent wants to bully it off the board, that's fine. It can be a ping magnet, as some might say, where the opponent's going to invest something just to get rid of it and keep it off the board. If they do, so be it. You've got plenty of this in here. You got 4 copies. Here we go. The boy himself, Setsuna FCA. Very surprised they did not give him the trait of Gundam instead of CB. I think that was a missed opportunity. If you've seen the show, you know what I'm talking about. If not, that went totally over your head and you're not going to catch it like Drax. So let's see. So we got Burst, add this card to hand, typical pilot stuff. Attack, this unit gets AP +1 during this turn. If there are 7 or more CB cards in your trash, all your CB units get AP +1. That can be really good if you're not sizing up correctly. This is a different way for Gundam to kind of get, or excuse me, Gundam RX-78 from the starter deck is now not the only card that can give like a board-wide buff just based on a condition. That card gets it a lot easier. It's any pilot going underneath that card. Setsuna, again, needing the 7 in trash isn't really going to be too hard since this whole deck is just focused on the CB archetype. CB standing for Celestial Being, by the way. All right, we got Tierra Arde. I like this card. I know a lot of people are kind of like clowning on it, but if it is your opponent's turn and this CB unit, oh my god, I can't. Let me start over. Destroyed. If this is your opponent's turn and this is a CB unit, draw 1. So if you put this under something, mainly the blocker, I think is where you would put this to really make sure this is proccing when you want it to. And then you get to draw 1. Sure, you boost it up a little bit. That blocker now becomes a bigger stat line. You got to risk a pilot for it. Or you potentially, you know, make a big threat on the other virtue, and then you leave it sideways, and your opponent's going to have to maybe eventually take it out, and you're going to draw 1 anyways. So there's a couple different ways of doing it. But we do get, how many copies? Is it 3 copies of this bad boy? 3 copies. Here's the legend. Lock on Stratos, Neil. Watch later, they just change it where it's not Lock on Stratos. It just links with Neil. Maybe that's a unit in the future. When paired, if this is a CB unit, it may choose an active enemy unit whose level is equal to or lower than this unit as its attack target during this turn. Again, really good for the Gundam Dynamist, just being able to go, nah, you're standing, you're going to get punched in the face. Again, standing units that the opponent decides to go wide with, you're not able to punish that, and sometimes you get punished by just taking that all to shields. Being able to attack something active when the opponent didn't expect that to happen is a really, really good play. I think that's really strong. So Lock on Stratos, they give us 3 copies in here. Alleluia Haptism. During your turn, while you have a CB Link unit in play, this unit can't receive battle damage from enemy units with 3 or less AP. A slightly different variant to Chang Wu Fei. Chang Wu Fei again from GDO1. GDO1 or Starter Deck? I can't remember. But he just can't receive battle damage as long as the unit has Breach and they have 3 or lesser attack. This is just while you have a CB Link unit in play. And again, like, he can be his own CB Link unit, so he meets his own condition. So if you do have him in and then throw him at something, and then he's just not receiving any kind of battle damage from 3 or less AP, that's pretty good. Obviously, keep that in mind. It's during your turn. So slamming into something that's small and then still keeping this unit alive for the opponent to deal with, pretty good. Alleluia Haptism, they give us 3 copies. So what do we get in there? Do we get 3 copies of all the boys? So Alleluia 3, Lock on 3, Erode 3, Setsuna 3. Okay, so it's 3 of every pilot. Interesting, interesting. But again, like, we got so many pilots in this one. Those are straight pilots. Those are no commands. So that was really, really interesting. We got Armed Intervention, our first command, speaking of. Draw 1 from the burst. Really good. Drawing's always important. Choose 1 rested friendly CB unit. Change the attack target to the battling enemy unit to it. Okay, got it. So if I'm declaring an attack and I've got something sideways, I can go, nope, you got to fight my Gundam instead. So be it. So it's a good way to redirect some of that stuff. And the burst is really good. Burst being able to do the draw 1 is really, really strong. Tactical Visionary. So we only get 2 copies of that. Tactical Visionary is really good. Look at the top 3 cards of your deck. You may reveal 1 CB unit card, pilot card among them and add it to your hand. Return the remaining cards randomly to the bottom of your deck. Really good for filtering. You can do it on level 1 if your hand is just that bad. I think this should be at a 4 of. Let's see how many copies they gave us. Yeah, they gave us 4. Okay. Reason I think it should be at 4. I saw so many people bricking at the starter deck event because they had so many pilots in hand but ran out of units. So that was an interesting scenario that made the Celestial Drive starter deck just right out of the gate not be as, I think, up to par what people were expecting. So it was really interesting. I'm probably going to butcher this one. Ptolemy. Tell me in the comments if I got that right or not. I don't remember the ship's name off the top of my head, so I'm going to say that's Ptolemaeus. Could be wrong. Add 1 of your shields to your hand. Burst is deploy this card. Makes sense. While arrested, friendly CB unit is in play. This base can't receive damage from enemy units that are level 3 or lower other than unit tokens. So really strong if you're going into an aggro matchup and you're able to turn 1 of your units sideways. This base could make the aggression now go towards your units. And we know that aggro at some point in the game, if they're not careful with their hand size, they could just eventually take bad trades if they can't get at your shield. So I think this is a really strong base for the CB family type. And then we've got a card I've been really partial to since the starter deck from Iron Bloom introduced it. It's Fatal Strike. We get a different artwork for it. This has Gundam Virtue shooting something. I'm going to assume it's a unit that's not a Gundam, and I don't know. Maybe it's one of the flags. I'm not sure. Choose 1 enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. That's from Burst. And then choose 1 enemy unit that is level 3 or lower and destroy it. Beautiful, beautiful effect. When I play my purple decks, this is something I rock at 4 copies. They only give you 2 in this starter deck, so I think that's definitely worth picking up a second one alone just to get your full play set. And then we've got our typical EX base, what we all start with, and our EX restars if you're going second. And then they did change the material on this, so this is one of the other changes besides putting the resources at the front of the starter deck, is this is now no longer like a thick cardboard material. This is like just a normal TCG, maybe slightly thicker than our cards material. But before, it was like on a big, thick stock that was pretty wide. This is no longer the case. So really flimsy, easier to carry around. I personally like this. I think this is a lot nicer compared to what we were given before in the first 5 starter decks. So, excuse me, in the first 6 starter decks. So that's really interesting. All right, so we're going to save this for the end. We're going to open the second one just to see if we get a God Pack right off the rip. Because I'm curious myself. I want to know what I have or don't have. Let's see. I'm going to do the tape. And then we're going to move on to our other 2 starter decks. I'm having a lot of fun with this one. Seeing these cards played at the starter deck event was really, really cool. Yes, it's 2 starter decks beating the bricks off each other, but I was really impressed with some of the cards that I kind of really didn't give too much of a care about. And I was like, you know what? I was like, that could have some play in the future. Let's put Gundam pack over there. Let's move this to the side. Let's put this box over here. All right, did we do it? I don't think so. It doesn't look like it. No! No God Pack! Oh! My soul! It's fine. Will we ever hit one on the channel? I don't know. That'd be cool, but I don't know. I don't know. All right, let's separate the resources out. Let's put our starter decks together. Boom. Playset achieved. Will I be building with CB? I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I don't know how into it I'm going to be until the GDO3 stuff comes out. So I might still just maintain my current builds and upgrade those as the new box set life cycle begins. But we'll see. All right, let's move on to our blue-red one. Again, this is Flash of Radiance, focusing on Hathaway's Flash. We got Penelope, She Gundam. I think somebody told me at the starter deck event I was announcing that wrong or pronouncing that wrong. So let me know if I am. It's XI Gundam, so I just say She Gundam, but I could be wrong. We're going to take our booster pack here. We're going to put that guy off to the side. Flash of Radiance. Also, this game mat was so cool to find. I was really pleased. This will be the game mat or the backdrop we'll be having for all of the unboxings for GDO3, so I'm really pleased with it. All right, we've already talked about it. We know we get the resources right off the rip. No God Pack, unfortunately, but that is okay. I won't cry later. It's fine. All right, so we've got, as a lot of people have started calling it, USB Gundam, and that's because the symbol for Sigma here is Sigma? Is it Sigma? No, it's not Sigma. It's whatever this is. But it looks like a little USB, like a little USB indicator. So everybody calling it USB Gundam. I thought that was funny. All right, this bad boy is a Mafty trait. You're going to see that a lot in this starter deck. And while you have no units in play that are level 6 or higher, this card in your hand gets -1 level and -1 cost for each enemy unit in play. Choose one enemy unit when paired with the highest level, deal 3 damage to it. So pretty good for just murking something if they go wide on you. I don't know if this really helps you reel in the board state like you're probably hoping it does. And I guess it really just depends. I mean, seeing this guy come out early is, I think, the optimal play. You're never really going to want to see this late, in my opinion. But pretty cool nonetheless. Different effect. I wish this could come down lower. Like, this would be nasty if you could see it on, like, level 4. Or, I mean, yeah, level 4. What's the lowest we could get it? If there's 6 units on the other side, -6. So, I mean, we could get this out pretty early, but I feel like we're dead. If they go 6 units wide and you just can't respond. I don't know. I guess we'll see how this plays out. Maybe it's the aggression we needed against aggro. Who knows? This links with Hathaway Noah. We'll look at that pilot when we get there. This is one of the LRs, so let's take a look at the texture hit. I will say the texture on this one's really flat. It's not really popping out. Yes, you can see it a little bit better in person, but it's a whole bunch of slash lines that are very close together going diagonally as he's shooting the missiles here from the action pose. I love the mobile suit. I think this big, bulky of a Hulk unit is super, super sick, and I love the design. This is the card everybody's itching for right now out of this starter deck. Penelope. Level 7, 6 cost. It's the other LR here. And it's got during pair attack once per turn, meaning any pilot under this can proc this effect. If this unit is attacking the enemy player, reveal one Earth Federation unit card with your hand from your hand, return it to the bottom of your deck. If you do, draw 2. And we've got draw on a body per attack. Gundam Barbatos had that too, as long as it had a damage on it. This, just being able to throw something out of hand and then draw 2 and see more of your deck is really, really strong. And it's one of our, I think, our first boss units that just draws from attacking. Gundam Barbatos LR is on the low end, so it's, you know, neither here nor there, and it's just easy to take out. A boss monster having it is really appreciated. It is Earth Federation type, so a lot of people are already brewing taking this out of the starter deck and putting it in some kind of an Earth Federation package. I am really hopeful to see those deck lists and see how the thing drives once this card's been out for a little bit, so look forward to that. Link here is Lane Aim, which is the other pilot in the starter deck. Let's take a look at the texture hit. This one is lively. As you can see, I like to call it the confetti texture. We've got a whole bunch of different shapes and varying sizes kind of turned about all through the background. And Penelope itself is, if you noticed, upside down. It's kind of like hanging in suspense. This is right side up Penelope. You can see the face here and the little winged unit that's on it. Pretty cool. Very much looking forward to playing with that card. Again, our LRs in the starter deck, we only get 2 copies of each. We move right on to commands. We got Siege Ploy. Choose one enemy unit with 5 or less HP rested. This card was also in the Gundam Wing starter deck and had a different art. We are noticing a theme, of course, that other starter decks that have like a pivotal piece are getting reprinted in other starter decks of the same color because they are really good. Siege Ploy, as you can see, used amazingly in some of the new type challenges videos that I commentated over on the channel from one of the blue-red players, Faded. He used Siege Ploy quite a bit, and it worked out for him to control tempo. They give us 2 copies of that command, and then we move right on to units. We've got the other She Gundam. Choose one enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it when deployed. I wish it did 2 damage, honestly, but I mean, Versago does that, and you have to have a condition where shields are essentially 3 or lower. But this is still pretty good if you're just looking for the ping. It does work pretty well with Hathaway Noah as we get to that pilot and what it's all about and what it's looking for. We got 4 copies of that bad boy. Messer, Type F Naked, Commander type. This is just Mafty Trade Anything. It's a 4/3 stat line, level 4/2 cost, typical. We got Messer Type FO1. If this unit is attacking an enemy unit, choose one enemy unit, deal 2 damage to it. This is supposedly overperformed in the starter deck versus starter deck stuff. Just swinging into a unit, pinging something else really added up for Hathaway Noah. As we get to that pilot, it'll kind of make more sense. But this was the card that really blew me away, that a lot of people were impressed with. Even though the stat line's only a 2/1, that was really interesting. People were talking fondly about this card. Mafty Trade is the link. We got 4 copies of the low end there. Messer Type FO2 Mine Layer. No link on this one, so unlike the Celestial Drive deck, this one would not have a link. It's a 4/3, so this is our Rezel, our Hyakurin in the red. As far as the stat line goes, it'd be the exact same thing. Level 3, 2 cost, and a 4/3 on the attack and HP. Vanilla Penelope still linking with Lane Aim. 5 attack, 4 HP, level 5, 3 cost. And we're going to get to Lane. Lane's got a really cool effect too, in my opinion. Gustav, Carl, Type 00. While 3 or more enemy units are in play, this unit gains blocker. Is it good? Is it something you could use because it's Earth Federation and you want to do all Earth Federation things because Penelope cares about it? Yes. So maybe something to look at and maybe review, in a future build video. I don't know why I just couldn't hold that burp in. It'd be like that sometimes and we're not editing that out. Jigen Ground Type A, Manhunter. I'm so curious if this is actually going to see play or not. Choose one rested enemy unit that is level 2 or lower. It won't be set to active during the start phase of your opponent's next turn. It reminds me of Byrlant, or whatever we got in GDO2. It's I think a Titan card where it links, if it links or pairs, it can hard rest something. And when I say hard rest, I mean it's exhausted not only for the next turn, but it's exhausted even when the opponent's restand phase comes up. So where they would normally turn their cards to active again, this would keep it down. So maybe it's a way of tempoing aggro out a little bit so you can kind of get back in it. But it is a weird stat line having 0-1. I really wish it had 1 attack here and maybe just, sure, we'd have to move the level up, I guess, to 2. But I really wish it did a little bit more than this. But here we are. And that is the low-end unit. Now we get right into the pilots. Hathaway Noah, when paired, if this is a Mafty unit, choose one of your Mafty units. During this turn, it may choose a damage active enemy unit as its attack target. So as you saw before, a lot of the Mafty stuff is looking to ping something else so that this guy can say, hey, you Mafty dude, go swing into the other guy for me. Or you select the unit that Noah's under. So you can also select yourself as a target to swing into something as long as it's damaged. Quibley, which came out in GDO2, and then Hum and Karn are also one of those units and things that care about things being damaged. So maybe there's a deck here in the future where it's Hathaway Noah and Quibley stuff for just damaging everything and just constantly capitalizing on stacking on more damage to already damaged units. But who knows? That just sounds like a lot of stacking. I don't know if we're quite there yet, but maybe it'll blow some stuff out. Who knows? So we got how many copies of Hathaway there? We got 4 copies of Hathaway Noah. Really, really good. Considering we did not get a whole bunch of different pilots in this one, like the Celestial Drive, you are going to get, I think, the 4 copies of this one too. Yeah, so that makes sense. So we got Lane Aim. When you draw with an effect, if this unit is blue, it gains high maneuver during this turn. So obviously this is the card that goes with that Penelope. Penelope can also proc its own effect, but if you do Overflowing Affection, if you do Show of Resolve, anything that allows you to draw outside of your normal draw for the turn, you're able to give whatever lane's under, as long as it's blue, high maneuver. I think that's really good. Obviously, the current blocker situation where blockers are just really, really good and are very strong in the current environment. Anything that gets past them to close out the game, or anything that just helps you move the threat along and make it so they have to swing into you, I think is really good. So I really like the Lane Aim card for the pilot. Let's look at our first command here. Words for Hathaway. This reminds me of one of those memes where the guy has his face open. Oh, the art's just a little weird. Words for Hathaway, choose one friendly Link unit. It gains Breach 1 during this turn. Really strong for Mafty since it's looking for damaged things to swing into. Is it worth it? I guess. Like, it's Breach 1 and it can be used as a Mafty pilot. Again, it's a command and pilot. But it does give the +1 on the attack, so maybe that stays in for the starter deck. I don't know. I feel like you got better options, but I can't think of any. Lady Luck is an interesting card as well. Choose one enemy unit, deal 1 damage to it. Is a level 5 1 cost, so it's already way up there, just looking to put damage on things. If a friendly Mafty Link unit is in play, deal 2 damage instead. So this could snipe out a small unit. It could put damage on things so you could do damage-related things, since that's what Mafty cares about. And then continue on with your onslaught, or who knows. For Lady Luck, we get 3 copies. This is one of the bases, Valiant. Add 1 shield to your hand, then choose one of your units. It gets AP +2 during the turn. Really good for just a boost for 1. Like if you have some units on the board and you just can't find a way of swinging at some of their bigger targets or provoking threat, putting a base, reestablishing, giving a boost, going back in, not a bad idea. Should have 4 copies of this. We got 3 copies. Oh, okay, because we got another base in here. Forgot about this one. Davo. Add 1 shield to your hand, of course, and then once per turn, you can pay 2. Choose one of your units. It recovers 2 HP. Keep in mind, this is active main once per turn, so it's not action. So you do have to wait, essentially, until it's your turn, since you can't do it on their turn. So I don't know, but I get what it's saying. You can't, like, keep stacking this ability. That'd be really cool, though. I'd love to have 4 damage and then just use resources to pump a big unit back up again. That'd be wild. And then this doesn't care about anything else. So, like, choose one of your units. It recovers 2 HP. Doesn't care about types. Doesn't care about color. None of that. And we should have 3 copies of this? 2! Okay, 2 copies. Gotcha, gotcha. So it's a little base heavy. And then we've got our EX, resources, and our token slab thingy-mabobber. All right, so let's open up the other one. See if we got a god deck, and then if not, we will conclude with opening the white booster packs and see what rare hits we got, if any. All right, I should put this in front of the camera and remember I'm doing an unboxing. All right, put that guy there. We'll put this off to the side. Let's see what we get. I don't think so. I could be wrong, though. Let's take a look. No god deck. All right. It wasn't in the cards for us, as they would say. Let's take those out. Let's put our Map D stuff next to each other. All right, pretty cool. So that is the Celestial Drive and the Map D, or the Flash of Radiance deck. We're going to start with the first one from Flash of Radiance. We got Hathaway Noah. Good stuff, good stuff. We got... Oh, boy, oh, boy. Oh, nothing crazy. Oh, I could be lying. Hey, Gundam, the one that does damage, is a C+. Then let's go to our Celestial Drive. We got... Hey, Fatal Strike, let's go! I'll take that, let's go. I was just glazing that card earlier. It heard me. And the last one, what did we get? No LR Plus, it looks like. Unfortunate. I kind of wanted the Dynamis LR Plus, but it's alright. We'll take that too. The base. I will say the big thing on the pluses is that they removed the text box, so you can just see more of the art. I think that's really cool. And then obviously they are textured. Meanwhile, the other cards are not. So, big fan when they remove that box, so you can just see more of the really cool artwork. Really, really sick stuff. But alright guys, that's been it for the unboxings for ST07 Celestial Drive and why am I forgetting numbers? ST08 Flash of Radiance. I will catch you guys in the next one, because the next unboxing, we're ripping boxes for GDO3. I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace!